The access looks blocked for the moment. heard you're the person to see when you lose your ID.
Oh, yeah? Maybe you misunderstood. And who are you?
Roy. Tranquility sent me.
That old son of a bitch. He needs me?
Apparently. I also figured maybe you could help me too, actually.
Did you now? Roy, huh? Well, we're not off to a good start. Roy. I don't know where you're from, but this is Aurora here. You gotta get yourself a nice virtue name if you don't want to get arrested first time they check your papers. Well, I mean, I'm just saying that in case someone did happen to be able to do lost papers for you.
Okay, how can I get legit papers?
Honestly? No idea.
The bartender seemed to know what he was talking about when he sent me to you, and he knew where you hang out.
Well, a bartender should quit the booze before he starts talking bullshit to some guy nobody ever met. And he knows I'm holding up, for fuck's sake. Listen, if you want papers that'll do the trick, you need a forger worthy of the name. And the only one I've heard is under a lot of pressure right now.
Maybe I could help you let off some steam.
You think so? You can always try. I guess if you do good, he'd probably return the favor. Dressed like an escaped prisoner the way you are, you probably couldn't afford him otherwise anyway.
I'm listening.
Well, it seems someone ratted on the guy. Now he's got soldiers all over him, turning his workshop upside down.
So they might find something.
Well, he ain't exactly stupid, you know? He just doesn't leave evidence lying around the house. But now they're on him. They'll never let up. They'll keep his place on the watch until they got something they can get their teeth into.
So what do you suggest?
Me? Nothing. But as long as those soldiers are sitting in the guy's workshop, the production line's hardly about to start up again. No, you'd have to get rid of them if you wanted him to help you. But I just might happen to have a few interesting bits and pieces myself. Bunch of evidence. Pretty convincing. If the army found it in some gang's hangout, for example, everyone would be breathing a little easier.
That's a good tip. All right, I'll go visit the workshop, and I'll decide once I get there. What's going on around here? Why is the army checking everybody?
You think the place was run by the people? What planet you from? Mars never had anything like that, and it's not the day after we win a war by some trick that everything's gonna change. The army's checking everybody's identity, especially on the main roads. If you don't have the right papers, the only thing you can do is join the wildlife in the slums. But that's not the way out of the city.
Later.
Halt! Stop right there. We're conducting a search.
If it's your brain you're hoping to find here, forget it. You never had one.
So?
You can use your workshop again.
Ha! Good work, Roy. How'd you do it?
Old school. Use my hands. Sometimes not.
You sure didn't use your head. I'm not too sure kicking the shit out of them in the middle of a search is gonna make them think there's nothing suspicious about the place.
The workshop's clear. For now.
Yeah. Our guy can get back to work.
You gonna keep that up for a while?
Do I look like I'm playing games? Okay, if you got no more questions, I'll get back down to work. You know where to find me now. Hey, thanks for helping me out.
So, you got forged papers for me?
Forged? What for? Here are your papers, Mr. Resilience. You must have left them here the last time.
What was I thinking? Thanks. Resilience, huh?
What, disappointed? You wanted honor, maybe? That kind of name's just for the elite, my man. And I gotta admit, I never got a look at the papers those people carry. At least your name fits you pretty good. And it's pretty rare, too. Getting a name like that attributed at birth traumatizes you for life.
That'll do. It's just a piece of paper, after all.
Hey, show my work a bit of respect, all right?
Tranquility needs new identity papers.
Oh, you mean the guy who told the first guy who came walking along where to find me while they were looking for me?
That first guy helped you get your workshop back.
And I helped him out in return. I don't work for glory, my man. I got operating expenses, and I'm still not safe yet, seeing as how you decided to take care of things. So if you want papers for your bartender buddy, you gotta help out with the war effort a bit. Let's just call it fair trade.
All right. Fair trade, right?
Exactly. Everybody has papers, and I have my serum. Seems fair to me.
You and Tranquility know each other?
Enough to know he's real smart. But I know how to keep my mouth shut. Not like him. He used to organize fights, but couldn't pay me what I won. Since then, he sends me customers when they seem reliable. He's almost never wrong. I'll give him that.
You fight?
So I can come up against someone like you? No thanks. I'm happy enough just betting. My fingers and eyes are too valuable. I need them to work with.
Later. Serenity, I presume?
You presume too much. If you don't know who you're dealing with, you got no business here.
I know who I'm dealing with. That's why I came to see you. To ask you to stop selling your shit to Chance and his gang. Ask being a euphemism, if you even know what that means.
A feminism, huh? Funny, I don't know what you're talking about. But now I'm the one asking. I'm asking you to leave real fast, or your head'll be asking to get kicked in. If you even know what that means.
I see you're having trouble hearing me. But with a couple of kicks, I should be able to force another way into your skull.
What? Okay, guys, I want to see him bleeding all over. But it's all cool now. Not one more hit for Chance and those guys, I swear. They can go by somewhere else, and good riddance.
That's good. I was sure we could come to a mutual understanding.
Problem?
Just questions for now.
Shoot.
You never have problems with the cops around here?
Ha! The cops! The militia doesn't exist anymore, and the army's got other things to do. This is the slums, dude. Don't sweat it. Nothing's gonna happen to you here. And when a couple of soldiers do come around here, we take care of things. But don't go getting all misty-eyed. They ain't exactly clean either. When they come see me, they're not after candy.
I catch your drift. You ever have anything to do with the Resistance?
What for? I don't give a shit about politics. And they ain't into my line of fine consumer goods. They like their good little fanatics to have a clear head. Especially their boss. Think it'd do him some good to do some now and again, though. Bit of tight ass.
For someone who never met him, you sure seem to know a lot about him.
In my business, you always find out about things. You gotta know what and who you're dealing with. And Marco, I heard it don't make a difference if you're on his side or not. He's just one mean dude. So the best thing to do, when it's like that, is stay out of it. I keep my distance, and I run my company.
I'll let you get back to work.
Yeah, you do that.
Did you hear that? They say technomancers are doing raids downtown. I heard they're looking for some fugitive, but that's all I know.
The access looks blocked for the moment.
Thank you. I'd never be back in my workshop if it hadn't been for you. You saved my life, you know?
Surely you'll return the favor. I went for a non-violent approach. At least with them. They decided to leave the place on their own.
Yeah, well, they didn't look real happy. They even threatened me. But at least they left. Guess I should think about getting some kind of weapon. I gotta be able to protect myself.
Might be a good idea, you know? The scumbags around here may not be hard to impress, but if you don't show a few teeth, you'll sleep outside again and they'll just walk all over you.
Ah, you got that right. I'll go equip myself.
What's the deal with this place? How'd it become the hangout for all the addicts in Shadowlair?
Not all of them, really. But if I told you this part of the city used to be really happy and lively, well, that'd be a happy and lively pile of crap. I've been living here for 40 years now, and it's only ever been a slum. The slum, like everyone calls it, even if none of the other parts of town are all that great either. Anyway, it still found a way to go downhill. People weren't real happy, that's for sure, but they at least didn't go getting all violent like that. They got sold a dream, and they were let down.
And, who sold it to them?
Oh, lots of folks. Same ones that promised everybody water, a place in the shade, or even just a job to make life easier. You know. The same one who promised them a future if they joined the army and told everybody one day we'll all go back to Earth. And of course there's those that try to get you to believe everything will be better as soon as you stick a needle in your arm. But those guys are smart. Half the time, what they say is true. One of them hangs out here, apparently. Don't ask me where, but the slum's his turf. And seeing as the army doesn't come around that often, pretty much all the junkies are here.
I thought you couldn't stand those addicts.
Sometimes I get carried away, say things I shouldn't. But you got my workshop back from me, and that's all I needed. I got nothing against those kids, to be honest. You can't really say they ever had it easy. Back in the day, we weren't exactly well off, but at least we had hope.
I gotta admit, I don't really see why you stick around this dump.
We moved here nearly 40 years ago, my wife and I. Wasn't the lap of luxury, but we couldn't really afford anything else. And there were things to do around here at the time. She was an artist, you know? I just ran the store. Compared to what she could do with her hands, the technomancers were nothing. She was a real magician. She's not here anymore. But I can't leave our workshop. We built it together. I'd have liked to know the place was going to survive both of us. If we'd had a kid, that would have been what we wanted more than anything. Well, almost anything.
I see. Since you've been living here, you must have heard about Charity, I guess.
Of course. Great woman. I don't even want to think what things would be like around here without her.
I suppose so.
It's not what you think. She's got good company, that's for sure, but that's not all she does. You know?
Really?
It may seem like an old-fashioned idea, but she's a good person. She helps people. And has enough influence so things run pretty much smoothly, even though the militia disappeared. It's sure not the Source or its soldiers who are gonna do that for us. Hooker or not, it's people like her that we need, not them. Maybe Wisdom and his guard dog should try selling their bodies to see what it's like. They could do with a change of perspective. I mean, don't go repeating that, of course. You tend to relax a bit when the cat's not around.
No problem. I can't even think of how to fit it into a conversation. Later.
Hello again. Thank you for taking care of the dealer and for giving the kids a chance.
I hope they're smart enough to take it. Your son's doing better? Must be tough, quitting cold turkey like that.
It is tough, but there are no half measures with these substances. It'll take a good week before he's gone through all the phases. I give him pain relievers, and that way I keep him near me too, until this is over.
And his father?
I'd rather not talk about that. I told Chance he was dead, and I hope he is.
I see. Good luck. You know the craftsman whose workshop your son set up in?
Mr. Frugality? Of course, he was living here before I was even born. He's hardly a master of his trade, but he's a good man. I cared for his wife when I was starting. I'll never forget.
What'd she have?
She never managed to give birth. I helped the doctor with various treatments. But when it turned out that she was showing symptoms of mutation, the son of a bitch decided that her sterility was a sign that she simply shouldn't have children. He denounced her so she would be put in a reserve with the other mutants. But she preferred to take her own life. Mr. Frugality was the one who found her, hanging in the workshop. A letter for him at her feet. The poor man. I don't know how he can stay there.
I think it must be harder for him to leave it. I'm going.
You got my papers? I can't spend the rest of my life here. I got a business to run.
Here you go. Well, the papers you asked for.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey,
Hey, what do you want?
later.
Papers?
Here you go.
Everything looks okay. You can go.